Hey ladies and gentlemen, my name is Simon, and today's a very special day because we are seeing the return of a show that is very, very close to me and means a lot to me for a number of reasons, and we're finally giving it the send-off that it deserves. Star Wars The Clone Wars. For those few of you who have been with my channel since the very beginning, then you know that I started my reactions. My bread and butter was Star Wars The Clone Wars. It was suggested to me after I watched the Star Wars Rebels mid-season 2 trailer. Someone said, hey, have you ever seen The Clone Wars? You go and give that a watch. And I thought, you know what? I'm a big Star Wars fan. I don't know why I've never seen it before. Maybe I thought it was a bit cartoony and cartoons are for kids. And I was like, you know what? Why not? They're short episodes, 20 minutes long. They are Star Wars, so I'm sure that I'll at least enjoy it. And I started uploading regularly, one episode per day, and for almost 6 months, I watched the entirety of the 6 seasons of Star Wars The Clone Wars and the movie. And it was a hell of an experience. It opened my eyes in so many ways to what could have been, and also what existed beyond the movies. The talent that, was at Lucasfilm. And at the time, the design and the animation was very impressive. Now it kind of looks a little dated in the early seasons, but for back in 2008 to 2012, that was very, very good animation. And a lot of money was put into this show, and you can see why. The voice actors were fantastic. Cats just want the attention all the time. He needs it. I'm trying to do a very emotional and fitting introduction to Star Wars The Clone Wars here, buddy. And you're just interrupting me. What's he like? Please don't scratch the chair, buddy. Okay? I'm going to say hello to the YouTubes. Say hello. This is Zuko, for anyone who doesn't know. Zuko is my kitten. Soon to be cat. He's almost 1 year old. But yes, anyway, back to the Clone Wars. I sat through and watched the entirety of the show, and I loved it. Certainly there were some arcs that I didn't enjoy as much as others, but the characters and the background and the lore that was created from that show stays with me forever, and it's had such a huge influence on the Star Wars universe. And so I already knew beforehand that, the show kind of ended abruptly, and without proper closure. And so I was prepared for that. I kind of started watching the episodes, and as I got to season 4, I was thinking to myself, God, I'm really going to have to sort of appreciate every moment I've got of this, because as soon as I get to season 5, and there is a smaller amount of episodes, I'm going to get through them before I know it, and it's going to be gone. And I will never get any more. Yes, Star Wars Rebels is great, but it's not the Clone Wars. And so I got to season 6, and season 6, when there's something like 13 episodes, each one of those you kind of enjoy, but you are sort of very reluctant, because you know that with each one, you've only got another 5, another 4, another 3. God, this is the second to last episode. This is the last episode, and when I stopped watching it and finished it, I was kind of lost for a little bit. I was kind of like, okay, well, what now? I've just come off of this amazing experience of watching this, fantastic show. Where do I go? And it had become such a daily routine, and we built up such a community from watching the Clone Wars. I used to hold competitions to see who would see reactions early, because I'd take a few days off between seasons to allow myself to get ahead on reactions in case I needed a day off. And I would run competitions that, would allow some lucky members of the audience to see them early. And I just remember having so much fun doing that, because we all shared this passion for a show that meant a lot to us. And so I know that my feelings were not as sour as some others at the show being cancelled, because I never experienced it in real time. I knew from the beginning that, well, this show only goes on for 6 seasons and that's that. I imagine when you're watching it real time, and you're told, sorry, Disney's bought Star Wars, they're cancelling the show that you love for a new show that looks like it's going to be aimed more towards kids. And obviously that harmed Rebels, because immediately Rebels was known as the killer of the Clone Wars. And so, it was really, really, I can imagine it was really difficult to... I don't know what he's doing. I imagine it was really, really difficult to try and come to terms with that. So I'm sure that you, like everyone else, like me, were super elated when they announced that the Clone Wars was coming back. It must have been just over a year ago now, maybe, that they announced it, maybe less. And although it's only for, a short 12 episodes, and yes, we already know some of the episodes because of the unfinished sort of arcs, I'm still super excited for this. I'm very much looking forward to it. Yes, Bad Batch. I've seen those episodes from the unfinished arcs, and so I might know what is going to happen, but it's been a long time since I've seen it, and so I don't remember everything about those arcs. I don't remember exactly what happened, and who knows, maybe they've changed a little bit of it up. Maybe some characters are in there that weren't, or maybe the story goes a little bit differently. I'm just so happy to have the Clone Wars back, to see the classic animation updated so that it still looks like the classic animation but made in a modern time, to hear the voice actors again, to get to see the characters and have a closure. I'm so looking forward to the finale, because I'm hoping it leads directly into Revenge of the Sith. I'm hoping that the finale will focus on Ahsoka and her experiences during Order 66. That's what I'm really hoping for. And we get to see her and Captain Rex kind of, go through this horror that we've only really, from her perspective, heard about in novels and the other TV shows, and I know that we're getting Maul versus Ahsoka on the Mandalore arc, which is going to be amazing. So, it doesn't matter to me that I might know some of the stuff that's about to happen. I'm just happy for it to be back. And so, we're going to jump into this episode now, as I stop my cat from once again trying to climb up my chair. But before we do, I want to say a big thank you to my Patreon super supporters: Frank Tremel, TheLoneDetective, Karen Abel, Rakoon Shampoo, Flawed Otaku, Ace, Nick Walters, Trey Harbor, and the 7 Deadly Sins. So, ladies and gentlemen, something I never thought I would say this time last year. Let's jump in and let's watch the new season of Star Wars The Clone Wars. Oh, I've missed this guy's voice. I've missed the voiceovers. Look how good that looks.
The first time we use a tactic, it's very effective. The next, less so.
They're like the Borg. They adapt.
The less effective it becomes.
Resistance is futile.
Tendencies and use that data against us.
Oh god, this is so nostalgia. It's just flooding back.
On an axis are not commonplace.
No, General.
Oh, it looks so smooth.
Echo. Before that heavy.
Yeah.
So many troopers. Gone.
Domino Squad.
Yeah. Regular folk don't understand. Sometimes in war, it's hard to be the one that survives. So, what squad are we taking in? Clone Force 99.
Yes, Bad Batch. I love the little tribute to 99. There's the big boy.
The cavalry has arrived.
I wonder if they redid the voiceovers for all of the episode, just because we already had the.
These guys are clones?
We already had the voiceovers done.
They call him Tech. Yeah, he can fill your head with useless info for hours. Crosshair, on the other hand, is not much of a conversation.
Oh, look at that tattoo.
You have to hit a precise target from 10 clicks. Crosshair's your man. Our target is this cyber center. It's the brains of the entire separatist campaign here on an axis.
I could demolish that with one hand. Yeah.
I'd like to see that.
Job, Wrecker. It's strictly a retrieval operation.
Makes you wonder how he got his name, Wrecker.
Sector 1 alert.
Battle droids.
Your location. Come in, Sector 1.
I've missed those little comedic bastards.
We're going down!
Oh, shit. Oh, look how good that looks. Look at the particle effects, man. That's so... Jeez.
Who's gonna get the gunship out of there? Not Cody.
Oh, shit. I forget how strong he was. Like I say, it's been like 4 years since I last watched this episode. Jeebus. No one cares about the pilots. Oh well, there we go. There's no pilots left to care about.
I don't think so, Captain. That's not our style. We prefer going to them. Bad Batch, Plan 82, Shockwave.
Shockwave. Oh yeah, they use the debris as a shield. Ah. This is... I'm hoping this is going to be as epic as I remember. Oh. Yeah.
Mark 151.
What a shot. What a shot.
75. Mark 357. 75. Mark 357.
Like that.
That's wave 1 down. Oh man.
Any more?
Uh-oh. Yes. Tactical droids.
But using tactics like we have never seen before.
Interesting. They're on foot now in the middle of nowhere. Sweep the area.
I thought his, the 4 eyes he's got across the top, I thought the one most to the right was robotic. Might just be misremembering.
And here I thought we were smart just using a holo map. Well, maps can be wrong. Hunter never is.
App name, Hunter.
Already called an evac. Kix will stay with Cody until it arrives. I'm in charge now. And I've got a plan to get
Kix
into
being
that
the one who survives to the sequel trilogy.
Good. Why did Commander Cody have to call us in?
You can't talk to Captain Rex like that. Says who? Oh,
Uh-oh.
put him down.
This is insubordination, soldier.
Guys. We pick them off from the tree line one by one. Actually, I was thinking we'd take a page from your book. Rush them head on.
They got the element of surprise.
Your style.
Effective. Surprise, bitches! Poor droids do not stand a chance. I just love the vibrant colours.
You know what's going on? Maybe it's another drill.
Be the nearby cyber center. They must know about the algorithm. Get me in
The algorithm being Echo.
at once.
All units to the front.
Just think about how good these guys are and how accurate they are, and then the Empire trades them in for stormtroopers.
This is a delicate operation.
Yeah!
Too long.
Like that.
Behind you!
Where did you come from?
Oh, I'll never get tired of the droids being just pure comedy. Ooh.
Get in there, Cap.
What's all that pink? Oh, it's the trees. I was going to say, what was all that pink sparkly stuff?
Crosshair, we're gonna need a lift.
Not gonna be a problem.
But you can imagine how
This is audible.
excited people would be if they had never released these sort of unfinished episodes and no one knew that Echo survived.
Is that?
We're gone. Rex, let's go. Rex, now!
Oh, Echo. Oh boy. Reinforcements.
There seems to be no intel missing, but there appears to have been a connection made with Skako Minor.
What?
Yeah. They know. They know about your secret plans, Trench.
That number, Cap. What did it mean? CT-1409. That was Echo's number. He's alive.
Yeah, so again, a lot of nostalgia that was felt during that episode, and as the episode was going on, you know, certain parts of it were like coming back to me from when I watched the episode, you know, 3-4 years ago when it was like still unfinished. And I was just thinking to myself, man, can you imagine how excited everyone would be to learn that Echo was alive, you know, had it not come through the form of the unfinished episodes. It's still amazing to see it again in kind of its fully realized state. And, you know, I'm just in awe at the design of the whole thing. You know, some of the animation, like the particle effects on, you know, especially on planets like, and this is what the prequels really excelled at, was planets that were very colourful and looked very alien. You know, they look pretty back in the day, but now they look even better. You know, some of the particle effects, the colorings, you know, and I don't know how they done it, but they managed to keep the kind of stiffness of the original animation, but whilst updating it to make it look HD, you know, and make it look like it was done on, you know, a computer from 2020. So, you know, I was just constantly sitting there and thinking, man, this is what the Clone Wars, you know, looks like 10 years on from, you know, when it was originally aired. And it's just amazing. You know, the Bad Batch story, you know, I know that a lot of people kind of were sitting there and thinking, oh, well, we'd like something new rather than something we know about. But I actually like the Bad Batch story because, again, it's showing you something different about the clones. And, you know, I like the fact that they've got the designation 99 as a little tribute to, you know, our old friend 99, who we still very sadly miss to this day. And, you know, obviously with the Echo storyline coming in, it's always great to see, you know, someone who you presume was dead come back and you know, get rescued, which is, for those of you who haven't seen the unfinished episodes, that's kind of where we're heading to. You know, it's not very spoilery because you can imagine that's the way it is. And he's in the trailers as well, you know. But no, it was just, it's hard to kind of review an episode that you've already kind of seen. I was sitting there and halfway through I was wondering, I wonder if they redid the voiceovers for this or whether they used the original voiceovers back, you know, in 2012 or 2011, whenever it was that they would have recorded those unfinished episodes. And I imagine they'd probably gone back over them because there may have been some new lines of dialogue. You know, there may have been some things they've added in there that's, you know, or maybe some things they weren't happy with, you know, and I'm presuming that the technology for the audio capture has come a long way. But this kind of episode is something that exemplifies, I should say, D. Bradley Baker's skill as a voice actor. Like, you think about how many characters he voiced in this episode, and it must be at least 10. There must be at least 10 characters he voiced. And they were all the same person. They're all still the same clone format, but he has to add different inflections and different tones and, different depths and make each one of them sound unique and individual. And it just reminds me of how talented he is when I see an episode like this, because it is a very kind of clone-centric episode rather than being any Jedi involved. So, for the next 3 or 4 episodes, it's going to be a case of, well, we know what's happening, but it's going to be great to see it again in, full development. And then after that, I'm really excited to see, what lies ahead for things like the Mandalore arc and what we might get between that. And, just see some of our favourite characters again. Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, even the likes of Chancellor Palpatine, It's going to be interesting to see if he is involved, who they're going to get to voice him, because obviously the original voice actor passed away during filming for season 6 or season 5, I think it was. And Tim Curry is very ill at the moment after suffering a stroke a number of years ago. So he's not going to be able to reprise the role. I was never a huge fan of Tim Curry as Palpatine because he just didn't seem to fit the voice profile. But I guess they were at short notice. They had to get someone. So it'll be interesting to see if he is going to be in this, who they're going to get to do it. You know what? If they got Ian McDiarmid to come in and fill in the role for the last season, that'd be perfect. Or Sam Witwer. They've got Sam Witwer on hand to voice Maul, and he has voiced Palpatine in the past, so I imagine that they could get him to do an impression of him. But it will be interesting. And I'm so happy that the Clone Wars is back and that we get to relive these stories again and venture into, albeit a short-lived but new story that we haven't seen before. Yeah, God, I might go back and watch one of my... You know what? I feel tempted to go back and watch my original reaction to this unfinished episode and just see how far both the episode and myself have come in sort of 3-4 years. It's pretty epic. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. I will see you for the next episode next Friday.